Hello and welcome back to TF1C. We're here looking at some feeder series racing from Bahrain. Of course, we had Formula 2 and Formula 3 supporting the big Formula 1 event. And yeah, we're basically just going to be running through the events, talking about some early championship favourites, some strong pace from some drivers and others that have disappointed us somewhat. So yeah, I mean, we'll start with F3.
Yeah.
And we'll actually start with quali. As it was a shock pole for Franco Colapinto, and of course Van Amersfoort Racing joining Formula 3 and Formula 2 this season. Pole on their quali debut, very strong from Franco Colapinto. Thought they might be able to convert that into a win in the actual race, but we'll get onto that. Later. Yeah, it's quite shocking to see. I thought maybe it'd be a bit of Prema or a Trident or ART or something like that, but no. Strong pace from the VAR team, and they took a solid pole on debut for Colapinto. So yeah, strong pace from him.
Yeah.
In the sprint, it was Ollie Bearman lining up alongside
O'Sullivan.
Zach O'Sullivan, Jack O'Sullivan, whatever his name is.
I mean,
he was chaotic. O'Sullivan.
He held lead for not long, really.
For about half the race, and then Ollie Bearman took over that lead. He opened himself up a lovely 4-second gap, but unfortunately was penalised post-race for track limits violations.
Well,
that 5-second time penalty was just after the checkered flag. Just after that, that 5-second time penalty pushing him behind Isaac Hauger, and he took his first win, and the first win that Trident have got in any series in a while. That might have been it, High Tech, whoever it was.
That was High Tech, yeah. Because he replaced Crawford when he left.
That'll be it then.
But yeah,
there was F2 that had tried to put the first win in a
while.
Drove
superbly, but if you exceed the track limits too many times, you are going to land yourself a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, as an Ollie Bearman fan, very, very upset. But we'll be back. He's had some strong pace.
Yeah.
And he'll watch track limits in Saudi and pick up more points there. So, there won't be Saudi. It's Imola the next race. Yeah.
Speaking of strong pace, Arthur Leclerc.
It's a good weekend to be a Leclerc brother.
Yeah.
Put it that way. It was strong pace in the sprint from Arthur. He got about was it a P4, P5, something like that.
P4 from out of the top 10.
Picked up some lovely points, and Then on to Sunday. Well, of course, Franco Colapinto on pole, didn't convert it, struggled for pace, just kept dropping.
But he got overtaken, didn't he? And then cut about halfway in, and then as soon as he got overtaken, that was his race over, and he just plummeted. But before then, several positions.
Strong pace, to be fair, but then just dropped, and it was Victor Martin that took the win for ART. Very happy with that. They got a 1-3 in the end with Gregor Saucy getting third. It was
Manuel Correa.
What was it? Correa taking P.
Yeah, extremely good week, especially feature race.
And
for ART.
Yeah, very strong. Very strong weekend. Prema. Arthur Leclerc was obviously up there. Bearman, as we mentioned earlier, P2 in the sprint. He got a P5, P6, something like that in the feature. So strong race, strong weekend for him overall. And it was
Leclerc got a 4.
Crawford was very much out of it.
But then Leclerc got
most
of the weekend in the sprint and second in the feature race with supreme pace and skill. Some of the overtakes he made were fantastic. A very good driver, Arthur Leclerc. Just like his little big brother.
His little big brother. That is exactly how I'd have heard it. In championship-wise, Martin's leads with 25 points, but Leclerc's just a point behind on 24. Or, of course, all of Martin's points came in the feature race. Scored 0 points in the sprint race. Ollie Bearman's currently P3 with 17 points. But I don't think that's a fair representation. You whack on a few more points there, and he's very much in this championship fight. Gregor Saucy's 4th place, and he has 15 points. So, again, all from the feature race. Who do you think is going to win the championship then? Give us an early prediction, because we didn't do a separate video for it, and we didn't include it in our F1 one. So,
it'll be between Martins, Leclerc.
No, I don't want to who it will be between. We know who it will be between. I'm saying, give me a winner right now.
Victor Martins.
Fair enough. I'm gonna stick with the boy, Ollie Bearman. Gotta back him. He's gonna get get the P1, and then make the climb up to F2. On to F2.
Oh, nice one.
And in quali, another shock pole on debut, but this time the UNI virtuosi of Jack Doohan took part. Well, it wasn't going to be Sato, was it? But yeah, the Australian making the step up this year, and it was a brilliant qualifying from him. We'll get on to how that ended for him, but yeah, strong pace overall this weekend. Couldn't convert to many points. In that sprint race, then was who was on pole? Was it Verschoor? Did he climb through? I feel like he climbed through.
It was, he did, because
it was like Drugovic.
Terrible start for
and he just couldn't get off the line pretty much.
Leaders, it was Drugovic P1 and Verschoor P2. Both just didn't get off the line, got swarmed by so many other drivers, and were incredibly let down. We saw the same in the feature, but we'll get onto that in a bit.
Yeah,
just didn't get off the line, and Drugovic dropped, but Verschoor didn't.
Verschoor came through, picked up the victory. Strong race from the Dutchman, who didn't even know he was going to have a seat this season until not very long before the season started. I think he was the penultimate driver, or maybe even the final one to be announced. But very good sprint race. Tried and picking up their first victory in a few years in F2. So that's decent. P2, Deruvala, who's many people's favourite for the championship, of course, now in the Prema. Had a good weekend overall. Well, had a good that race, but not so good in the feature. Liam Lawson was P3, the first of 2 podiums that weekend, and setting himself up very nicely.
Very good weekend
for a championship charge.
Come on, Liam.
Into the feature though. And of course, Doohan on pole.
Again, nothing off the line.
Not great off the line.
And
Vips.
You ended up with...
Looked mental.
So it was Doohan and... Can't remember who he lined up with on the front row. But you ended up with Vips and Beauchamp from P4 and 5.
Yeah.
Into P1, leading into turn 1. Incredible start from those two. Vips came out the better one, led, and pulled an incredible gap.
Well, the Estonian was electric, but then in the pits, complete cock
terrible.
up. The first of many in Formula 2. We had a lot of them across the race. But yeah, terrible pit stop, but did manage to recover to P3. So good race from him.
I feel bad for him though, because he was 5 seconds clear of anyone, which in Formula 2 is a massive gap.
Yeah.
And he was dominating the race. Should have taken all 25 points, but sadly messed up with the pit stop. Still got a good P3, as you said.
But then, Jack Doohan was then the thingy leader, preliminary leader. He comes into the pits, comes out, decent stop. He's alongside his rival Théo Pourchaire. And I can't even just really describe what he was trying to do. He kind of didn't go for it, but did go for it. Takes his wing off, and then pits 700 times, and only gets 1 point from the race.
That's his youth head, because maybe more of an experienced head of like a Deruvala or a Lawson, who are in their second, third seasons in Formula 2.
Yeah.
He said 1.
Yeah, I do think this season is a bit too early for Doohan to be thinking about the championship. But next season, I think he can make a serious push for that title.
Yeah, definitely. Doohan crashed, broke his wing. That cost him the win, which then meant taking the
Pourchaire
was Théo Pourchaire.
Assumed the lead once all the pit stops had sorted themselves out and that. He was very composed, sealed the victory. We did have a bit of chaos towards the end. We had a safety car for a collision involving, who was it that brought the safety car out?
Someone got spun around.
I know Verschoor got spun around turn 1. I think it was that then. And he was out. The winner of the sprint race knocked out. Out of it.
That was the chaos lap 1 where 3 or 4 cars were just out. This was F3.
Yeah, it was both. All feeder series races have mental starts.
Pourchaire took the win. Lawson
I was just going to say that, yeah, so Verschoor brought out the safety car, then in came everyone into the pit lane, and we had this weird moment where no one knew how to do a pit stop. Hauger came in, he then tried to get out too early, tyre flew off the car, Doohan then couldn't leave. Further along the pit lane, was it Callan Williams?
Yes,
I think.
Callan Williams. He also
he was well up there. I don't know whether it was then that he dropped, but it was a Trident.
Yeah, it was Williams.
That was Callan.
He was told. The problem is, well, the Hauger one, the guy pulled the thing up to tell Hauger to leave, but he left. But the guy on the front left hadn't finished putting the wheel on. So Hauger went out, wheel fell off.
The guy on the front left put the I think he put the wheel gun in front of the tyre.
That was
and that thing would it off. Oh no, that was Callan Williams. That was it.
The front left guy dropped. He did the pit stop, put his wheel gun in front of the tyre, so that when Callan Williams drove out, the tyre fell off.
And then, so you're looking at the pit lane. We have two cars stranded in it. They wheel back Hauger. They've got Callan Williams there in a wall that people are now having to go round. It was just all a complete mess. And a Formula 3 champion out in the pit lane.
They managed to get Doohan out of the pit box. He has to go round Callan Williams, who is in the fast lane.
There was a few other drivers that then came in and had to sort them. So
surely, if
chaos,
your team was to tell you to stay out. If there's a car, two tyres rolling around, and a car with three wheels in the fast lane.
On the topic of chaos, making a step up from Formula 3 to Formula 2 this year, Oliver Caldwell. I mean, good driver, has good pace, but has no discipline. How on earth you can pick up a 10-second, 5-second, and then a drive-through penalty, all in the same race? So that's 7 penalty points in the first event. That's over halfway to the 12 points needed for a race ban. So
a race ban by end of Saudi, maybe.
No, yeah. Of course, F2 is in Saudi next week. But yeah, not great for him. Not great for. I'm sure Alpine Academy won't be buzzing. But then, yeah, Lawson P2, pretty dull weekend, I'd say, from the Kiwi.
He swept up. He was composed, calm, and just had good pace, so that when everyone else, as we said, crashed and had bad pit stops.
I don't think I saw him.
And he just drove around with decent pace, kept up with the pack, and then when they made mistakes, he came through and he got himself.
Which is very different to last year. Last year it was him getting along the cars. This year, I looked up on the podium and was like, "How the fuck he got there then?" But he was.
Last year he won the sprint and then crashed out in the feature.
Yeah.
So it's very up and down, but good solid result.
As I mentioned, Vip's P3, and I think it's Ralph Boschung came all the way up to P4, which is actually how the championship standings are. It's Pourchaire top with 25, Lawson second with 24, Vip's on 18, and Boschung on 17, running out your top four. I think I know what you're going to say, but if you had to give me a championship winner right here now on the spot, you're saying
Liam Lawson.
Fair enough.
Love him. Liam Lawson fan. I hope he wins it. Had a decent up and down season last season. Obviously, the big one being, he won Monaco and then was disqualified for some technical infringement. But yeah, really good driver. Love him, and I think he's going to win it. And I hope he wins it. I'm
going to go back the Alfa Romeo Sauber Academy guy, Teo Pourchaire, had some very good pace, and then I think he'll win the championship. Looking at getting into F1 next season, he might have to do a Piastri and take a year out. I think that depends on the performance of Guan Yu Zhou. But yeah, if so, I think he'll have to wait a year. Bottas will retire. He'll be nailed on for that seat.
It'll be between Pourchaire, Lawson, Doohan.
I think Vip showed some strong pace, which was kind of shocking. Yeah. I think Doohan's an outside shot as well. I think Hauger's nowhere near. He seemed to have no pace. And Doohan was a bit patchy.
And I think the other thing we haven't mentioned, Ayumu Iwasa, sensational.
Mate, I mean, he started right from the back, made some brilliant overtakes. Don't think he got many points in the end, but strong race overall.
But he did it in both races.
Red Bull will be impressed.
Sprint, he got up to a 13th, 12th. Sorry, sprint he got up to 9th, and then feature he got up to 7th. From the back of the grid both times, great work from Ayumu Iwasa.
Yes, but needs to work on qualifying. Oh no, it was a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a penalty.
Similar in
Mr. Weybridge,
F3, it was
yeah, they both missed the Weybridge.
Kushmani
Kushmani
had to make his way up. He
But
gained
he-
like 30 positions over the weekend and got no points. So
Yeah.
nothing
He-
quite
'cause he
sums
started-
up F3.
Started P30, he
That's
got
that.
to 15th, but meant nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that is about it for this roundup of the feeder series
I'm looking forward to F2
racing
in
over the
Saudi.
weekend.
I just hope it isn't like last
I
year.
think it's going to be very chaotic.
Because last year we saw that horrific crash with Fittipaldi.
Yeah, but that's someone not getting off the line. But I think this year's going to be more of a case of turn one being
That's
tight.
why F3 don't go to Saudi, because that's 30 cars trying to get through Saudi.
I mean, and they're all young, inexperienced drivers. The reason they do it with F2 is because they're not
There's
as
less.
young, but they're still as chaotic.
And there's less.
Yeah, and there is less. Right, that's what we're going to round up. If you have enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, give your thoughts on all the feeder series stuff. We'll have our F2 predictions for Saudi out on Thursday, so 2 days time now, and then F1 out on the day after that, the Friday, just before practice.
Yeah.
So yeah, look out for those coming out in the week coming up. Then of course we're rounding up all that content Monday and Tuesday next week. But yeah, have enjoyed me. Make sure to leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you're new. Let's try and up our sub count. Currently on 22 at the time of recording. Let's push that up. I know we can do it.
100
But yeah.
a year?
Maybe. I think if we graft hard enough, we can definitely hit that goal. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.